takes of the intro. I don't know if you're right.
Well,
Let me count
Speak
for
like 3, 2, 1, and action.
She did the first same rapping the first time, then she listened to Yellow Hat.
Yellow Hat.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do the count
Cops,
for
can
you.
you step away from there when you're done?
okay.
Okay, great.
Going live in like 3, 2, 1, action.
Moto, ke moto, ka batho ba bangwe. You are because I am, and I am because you are. My name is Unity Dow.
That was amazing, though. That was it.
That opening was good.
And then all you needed, I thought you were doing the CNN pause. You know that CNN pause?
Yeah, like 2 seconds.
And
Like,
this
And then I got lost.
is things that matter.
Let's
yeah.
go again.
Good.
Okay, going in like 3, 2, 1, action.
Moto, ke moto, ka batho ba bangwe. I am because you are, and you are because I am. My name is Unity Dow, and welcome to Things That Matter, a show that explores things that touch us, things that influence us, things that are impactful in our lives, personal lives, community lives, our nations, this beautiful continent, the globe. Today, I have in the studio 2 incredible young men. Are you young?
Well, that's relative.
I'm definitely young.
In wisdom, I'm not.
I am young in everything.
Maybe in age, yeah, but wisdom, I think I've lived through so many experiences. Yeah.
They will share with us what brought them to this space.
Wow.
What brought them to this space? What is your path to where you're sitting today?
I think it starts with my mother. She gave birth to me in a city of kings, the city of Lobengula. That's Blawayo. That's Zimbabwe. Born 1980 and moved to Harare. Actually, there was this famous artist called Love Momajava. He was our neighbor, and he was really, really talented and incredible. And I always thought I would end up in the arts or in the creative space. So my family was very competitive. Everybody always wanted to do something that would make a name beyond their life. Because we remember hearing quotes like, I would die, but my music will live forever. So I always thought there's a sense of immortality that everybody's searching in my family. So that was like the first knock on the door of this is what you're going to do in life. Yeah.
That's really interesting. You're suggesting that you're actually you were raised to be what you are.
Yes.
But do you feel the same way? Sir?
Nah. I landed through a few holes, and I think for me it's failure, more or less, in the sense that I was born and a path was set out for me, and I knew I had to walk that path. And at some point or at key points, I took lefts and lefts and lefts, and it ended up kind of below the path I was supposed to be on. But I realized that, actually, this is the path I want to be on.
Then I'm going to look back and say, who are you?
Okay. So I'm an offspring of 2 very intelligent and accomplished individuals. My dad is a doctor, and my mom is a lecturer / midwife. So I was born to be that. And I'm an only child. So
Are you the only child?
I'm an only child.
Really,
so
Eddie?
you're born and you're put on this pedestal, right? Because it's like, I wasn't even supposed to be born, actually, just to be honest with you. My mom had an accident when she was young, and when my dad married her, when they started dating, a lot of people were saying, this man, why is he with this woman who we know is gonna have problems giving birth? So my birth was kind of unexpected. So now it's like,
it was miraculous.
It's like no pressure. It's like, no, you're here. We expect so much, and I think as I started growing into my own, the pressure started building, because now you're being told every day, you're being reminded, remember, you're an only child. Remember, your dad is this. Remember, your mom is this. And eventually, like I said, through those left turns, through those holes, I found myself.
we're sitting in Muchudi, Katling, Botswana.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You don't come from here.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get here? How did you get here?
Um, for me, it's been like my life has always been a journey. I think I started living out of my parents' house like when I was 19, and I started traveling on my own. I started off in Cape Town on my own, like no one else. And for some reason, I always thought South Africa looked like Soweto everywhere. So by the time, yes, because that was the image I always had of South Africa. And so I had a choice to go to University of London to study film, the London International Film School, but then Cape Town International Film School like came first. And then I thought like, okay, besides pound versus rand, I ended up in South Africa, but then I was in res with people from different parts of the world. Some from, say, Kenya, Russia, Asia, and some were actually from Botswana. So I made friends since like 2000 from friends from Botswana, and they're still friends of mine today. So when I was passing through going back to South Africa, I think it's early 2019. No, 2000, because it's to 2021, right?
That's right.
So I was passing through to help a friend with a TV project, and one of the banks here were really interested in the project. It was a university quiz challenge, really, because I've been doing so well with academic sports, and COVID happened, so I was stuck in Botswana. And the next thing is my uncle and aunt are teachers at Baobab, and I was like, "Hey, let's just film you teaching, and maybe you share some of these lessons with your students, and maybe we can give them to the school to share with." And then Botswana school TV started out of that.
Yeah.
And then there was a school called the Dow Academy just started, and my partner then reached out to the school, and then the incredible Shesha Dow picked up. She was like, "What is this happening?" I was like, "Yeah, we can have some of your teachers come in and teach. Because you started a school doesn't mean school should stop. Learning shouldn't stop because of the pandemic, even if it's through television and stuff like that." And from there on, Dow Academy coming onto Botswana School TV became a bond. And I happen to be one person who can sell ice to an Eskimo. So I was like, "Hey, by the way, I think it would be nice to have a media club or teach kids film, because I'm very passionate about film, television, and how these disciplines can capture our stories and our history and preserve them, than to be something that you are told, but you can actually watch and learn." So the Dow Academy welcomed me into their home, and then it became Mochudi. Mochudi became home to me. So I've been in Mochudi.
What you're describing is passion.
Passion,
How what
yes.
fuels you.
Yes.
It's a Saturday morning, and you are sitting here away from your families.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you're doing this. And
Yep.
it's almost like you're always carrying your passion in your pockets or something.
In our hearts, because our pockets change.
We are the
They
passion.
sometimes go deep or shallow,
That's right.
but our hearts never run
Sometimes
out.
they have holes in them.
Having raised my kids around internationals,
Yeah.
raising my kids, we had a house in the back, and there was always somebody living there, somebody from Canada, from the US, from Zimbabwe, from South Africa, just always a revolving door.
Yeah.
I came to, appreciate the value of diversity.
Yes.
And the value of, another experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also came to accept that, I want to say, if you see anybody away from their home, anybody,
Yes.
they're special. Maybe special bad or special good.
Good,
But
yeah.
There's something
they're
about them.
certainly
Yeah.
not average.
That's
Yes.
true.
Because
That's
the kind of person who packs their bags, and leaves their comfort zone
Yeah.
is special in one way. So I really want to close this as the segment by saying, I think I'm in the presence of two very special people.
Yeah. Before you close, can we hear what
Wow.
Eddie's
my
story
journey,
that brings
wow.
him to
So,
Mochudi? Sorry for that, but I really wanted to hear this.
My love relationship with Mochudi started in 2007.
Okay.
2006, I moved back to Botswana from Namibia after yet another failure, right? So I'm at the bottom. I'm like, you know what? I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then I joined this program called Face the Nation, And Face the Nation, well, they had a program where they would go to schools
Yeah.
and teach the students about, abstinence and how to take care of themselves and things like that. And I was posted to Mochudi at Molefi. So when you said,
I see.
yeah, when you said you actually went to school there,
That's correct.
I was like, oh wow, they, small world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I taught at Molefi for the month of June. Funny enough, here we are.
Wow.
And I moved on with my life. But my mother told me something very interesting. She was like, you know what? This is a new chapter for you that is starting. This is 2006, and
Yeah.
she's like, and you don't know where life is gonna take you, but I have a feeling that somewhere, somehow, you have a heart for Mochudi. So just remember that. Fast forward, I finish university, I get married, I move around, I go to South Africa, I come back, go to Kenya, come back, and on LinkedIn, Cheche posted something about the school. Just we've got these tech series.
The CEO of the school.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the CEO of the school posted something, and she's like, they're about sustainability, and I'm like, wow. At this point, I had just written a paper on the circular economy, which looks at preserving everything that we have, pretty
Yes.
much. So I sent a LinkedIn email. This was like, I think at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, you know what? I like what you guys are doing. Can we meet and talk and see what we can put together? I think this was on a Sunday. Monday, she responds. She's like, actually, we started this tech series. We're trying to see what we can do with around laptops and computers.
Yeah.
Please come in. Let's talk. That very day, I think 10 o'clock, I was here. And I think by Wednesday,
You start.
we had finalized everything. And I think our relationship has been like that, whether it's with the school or even with Mochudi, because I always feel like I bring people here most of the time because I have friends who are wanting to start businesses, and they're like, where's the best place I can go that is not in Gabs? Yeah, that's not so busy or so. I'm like, you know what? Let's take a drive to Mochudi. Drive around, and I asked them, I'm like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? And they're like, what am I supposed to be looking at? I'm like, space. Look at the space. You can drive around, breathe, park your car on the side of the road, and still you see people moving around. It's not a dead village.
Yeah.
It's actually alive and it's actually buzzing. And I think that's me and Mochudi. That's me and the Dow Academy.
Yeah.
It's an amazing journey.
Great.
All right.
And I want to say that when I first met you,
Yes, ma'am.
I felt this that it's not going to end here.
Mm.
Ian is the kind of person who seeps into your life.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, he doesn't budge in, so you don't really feel him coming.
He's there, but he's not there. Kind of like oxygen.
Wow, that's a compliment. Thank you.
So it's he takes baby steps that are so huge.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I watched you when you interacting with the students when you started, your first media class.
Yes.
I just couldn't believe the magic that
Wow.
were actually the sparks that you were creating in those, those kids.
Mm.
And you, Eddie, and your, like the parents when they talk about young kids are, taught to look at these instruments as sacrosanct.
Yes.
You clean the television and you move back. You clean the radio, move back. But you dare them to look inside.
Yeah.
And I really, it's more than just knowing how a laptop works.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
It's really beginning to understand that these things were made by people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And therefore, and I'm a person.
That's
and
right.
therefore, I could possibly make something like
That's right.
this.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, for me, what's really incredible about watching you work.
Thank
So
you.
I'm just so happy that you are, with me this studio today.
Wow. We're happy to be here.
We're really happy. Like,
Okay, thank you very much. I think we'll go on break, and when we come back, they will tell us more about what impact they believe they've made in life, whose lives have they touched, how, and who has touched their lives as well. So thank you very much. We'll be back in a few minutes.
wow.
Bro.
Wow.
Bro.
That was amazing.
Didn't I tell you?
That closing
Oprah?
was amazing. I just pictured you like having your own podcast and doing your own thing. Like that
Nah.
was really good.
Eddie, we're gonna debut this
That
show
was really
on
good.
DSTV.
That
I
was
don't care.
really
We're
good.
gonna make this happen. I'm sorry. This
That-
this was really
that
good.
closing
I was
was
like, oh yeah,
perfect.
natural.
I almost started clapping before you finished.
Uh, okay. All right. Don't pause the cameras because the sound on the Audacity carries on.
Yeah, no, this one we're not pausing. But
Okay.
This one you have to pause. You pause the
All right. Should we come back? Let's come back.
So now we're exploring
Is it passion?
passion
And then
and you know
and then yeah,
and then we go to
a break,
and
and then we come to impact.
impact. Okay.
Yes.
Passion first. Okay.
Yeah. It's easier for me for editing if it's a continuous video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So do
Yeah.
I just say welcome back or
Yeah, you can go. Welcome back to Things That Matter. Yeah, and then let's carry on with our conversation with Ian and Eddie.
Okay, and also Ian Eddie, and then I'm going to, for example, I got things that matter.
Yes,
Okay, Dilo said good talk.
yes.
Can you say it in your language? Can you say it in your language? No.
You have to say it in English for me to translate.
Things that matter.
Oh, okay. Things that matter. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so I want somebody in your language to hear you
All right.
Say.
and sit up.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes,
Okay.
that makes sense now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So
Ready?
Yes.
Rolling in like 3, 2, 1, action.
welcome back to Things That Matter. Dilo said good talk. Let's continue to listen to Eddie and Ian. Eddie, Dilo said good talk.
Les choses qui comptent and vitu venye vina maana.
Dilo said good talk.
Zino kosha. That was simple enough.
When we broke off, we talked about passion.
Yes.
You suggested that you carry your passion in your pockets. You tell me no, you carry it in your heart.
Yes.
What is passion for you? We use this word so commonly.
Yeah.
What do you when you think of passion? What does that mean?
I think passion is the greatest asset I have. Because it never runs out. So I don't think it devalues, it just increases its value with everything that you touch or people that you associate yourself with. If you associate with dreamers, dreams come alive. But if you associate with people who do not believe in dreams, you tend to also believe that, these are things of just, esoterical, not, believable and stuff like that. But passion for me is Thomas Edison for me. The light bulb, Howard Hughes, the Wright brothers, Alexander Bell. Like, why? For me, it's having something unimaginable, but making it tangible. If you can have a standard 6 student create an idea for a film, and then you see them write and develop the film, and then you actually end up watching the film in the cinema,
That is passion.
that is passion.
That's right.
It had nothing to do with, oh, we don't have resources, or we don't have money, but we had heart, and everybody has that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Eddie,
Driving force for me, it's the driving force for everything I do. Passion for people, passion for children, and passion for achieving, passion for preserving as well.
Yeah.
I sit in classrooms with these children, and when we start off, they have no idea what we're going to do. And eventually, after a week, they start asking me to say, when are we getting our computers? And after another week, they're like, nah, I think next week, if we don't get our computers, we're not going to come.
Yeah.
So you see that, it's something as small as a mustard seed, and all you do is water it.
Yeah.
And after a week, like, these kids feel like they can move mountains.
so passion begets passion.
That's right.
Yes. And if you think about it, like, I think we all have God-given level talent. It's just sometimes the first no you get is your environment.
That's right.
Home says no, the world is going to say no, and you're going to start believing the no's. But if home says yes, like I said, I was born in a home that was competitive, as well as they were very academic, but they were very creatively competitive. And that yes part of it, it's what has always been like every given yes to me is an opportunity to believe that, wow, that's a door. So let me go and do the best I can. But sometimes you can't go in too hard
Sure.
because the
You
next
seep in.
you seep in, because sometimes some things are just you can't comprehend them.
That's
That's
true.
magic.
Yeah.
When you watch a magic trick, you're gonna go home and go like, wow, how did they do that? Or how did they do that? So I like to always feel like I could be the Houdini,
Yeah.
the magician that makes kids believe in their dreams, and then they go home and then they actually make the dream come true, and then actually say, yeah, Mr. Ian, you know what? Here we go.
And
Would you say
yeah.
passion is underpinned by values?
Yeah, values, but also a certain level of individuality.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes
Confidence?
confidence, yeah, because sometimes we get hampered by what's around us.
Yeah.
You find someone who's looking at the environment and they thinking, I can't achieve because of where I am. And I'm always telling them to say, no, listen, you have to dream global, but think local. You're still where you are.
Yeah.
That's the reality. But what can you use around you to go beyond? I mean, I'm thinking about these boys, the Ikodoru boys. I don't know if you've heard about them, from West Africa, and they do parodies of American movies.
Oh yes.
Yes.
And and they use what they have,
Exactly.
but they think beyond where they are.
Yes.
And they got sponsored by Netflix not too long ago,
That's right.
and they're really doing things. And for me, that's passion right there.
Mm-hmm.
Is to say, okay, I'm here now, but what do I have?
Yeah.
I've got my hands, I've got my brain, I've got two eyes, I can write.
There
Let's
you
see
go.
where that can
When
go.
I watch both of you, in your own classrooms, when teaching film, doing the tech series in terms of computers and laptops, I'm reminded that it is said that if you have 4-year-olds, the first day of class,
Yes.
and you say, how many of you can sing? All the hands shoot up.
Yes.
Okay, and then if you come 2 years later, how many can sing? Half.
Half-handed. Yeah.
That's true.
And then the numbers go until only because of one
Person.
person.
Yeah.
And 13 years later is able to say, I can sing.
Yeah.
But I really see what you're doing is that we're going to have more raised hands for much, much longer.
Yes.
Than has been happening. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
What you're teaching kids
Definitely.
is self, confidence.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the belief in self. Would you say that?
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that we need to do as a society is to say kids have this wild imagination. Sometimes they see things that we don't see. So
Yeah.
we need to see ourselves through the eyes of a child. Because when you're a child, you have these things that are happening in your brain and in your heart. But then the moment you try it, the world says no.
Mhm.
So sometimes we need, not even sometimes, I think all the time, we are ourselves, me and Eddie, are saying yes to the kids. And then with that little yes, now they can even say we can build a radio station.
That's right.
And we built the radio station. Now they believe they can do radio shows and TV shows. I mean, Clotho just hosted a special edition of Meet the CEO. I mean, CEOs were watching, asking, who is this kid?
Imagine that.
And I'm thinking like, wow, now imagine if I was a parent, if I had said no to my child all the time and they do something like that. Now imagine to the parents who have been saying no to their children to even participate in these tech series programs and other things in other schools in other countries. When you see a parent now seeing their child like that, you want to be that parent.
And and we learn as well. Like, before I get into any class, I ask myself, am I really about this?
Yes.
Because I've always believed like that children have eyes of God. If you step into their class and you're not really into, they'll pick it up.
Yeah,
quick,
very
and they'll
quick.
tell you, nah, you're not
Today.
really here today. And I've nurtured a relationship with them where they could even tell me, say, we think you should go home
Yeah.
and come back tomorrow. So I'm really learning from them just to always introspect and make sure that
Yeah.
I'm first of all their biggest fan and the biggest fan of what I want them to achieve.
Yeah.
And that way, when we're in the same room, there's no pretense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all organic. And I feel like even the people that come here that visit, that's what they say. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm actually shocked every time someone comes here. Before they leave, they're like, "Oh my goodness, this is therapy for me. Can I come back
Oh
again
yeah.
and again?" I'm like, "Why do you think I'm here? This is therapy for me too." So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So if you were to advise parents about nurturing their children
Yeah.
around the issue of passion, what would you say?
I think watch carefully because
Mm.
you know, I I didn't really like live with my parents growing up. They were always really busy people. So I was lucky enough to have my grandmother who really pushed me to be who you want to be. And my mother had this quote of like, if you can dream it, you can, if you dream it, if you believe it, you can make it happen. But she was always the other side that always be a mother and be like, no,
Yeah.
not this, not that. But then the next morning she's like, if you got these dreams, you gotta make them happen. That's the only thing you have in this world and stuff like that. But now she sees me like this. Every time she gets so proud, she smiles. It's just like in awe, And she even watched the episode of the CEO of the Dow Academy. She was like, look at that child. I'm like, Mom, she's my boss's daughter child. It's like, look at her. She's wow. It's like seeing me through her.
Yeah.
Be like, wow,
Passion,
passion
because something
again.
against passion.
Yeah.
And on top of that, as parents, we have to adapt
Exactly.
to our children's environment sometimes.
Mhm.
I feel like I had a different setup
Yeah.
because I was dropped at school and expected to excel.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mhm.
That's your job until you get out of the house.
Yeah.
At 18, your job is to go to school and to excel.
Yeah.
We'll see you at the end of the term. That's right. No pressure. Just go to school and excel.
Yeah.
And eventually, I think my mom started realizing to say, you know what, you guys nowadays, you live a very different life. You're like the hippies of our time.
Yes.
So
Actually.
I think we need to give you a chance to be who you want to be as well.
Yeah.
But then at a certain point, you're gonna reach a fork, and when you make that decision, it'll be an easy decision. So at some point, she started pushing me towards what I wanted. She'd say, "Okay, no, go do what you want to do,
Yeah.
but just make sure you take care of this as well."
And you didn't study computers, by the way.
I did something totally on the other side of that.
Again, I guess really reinforces this notion that it's the values that grow you.
That's
Yeah.
right.
What you actually finally do is something else. So what were you raised to be? I think that's really becomes an important.
Yeah.
So what are you raising your children to be?
Yeah.
What are the values that you're instilling in them so that they can navigate the world and become
Exactly.
what they
Yeah.
are? And I let me just also say that
Yeah.
for me, again, titles are not important because often that's what we are linked to.
Yeah.
You want to be, I don't know, a historian,
Mhm.
and that's what you are. But within that are so many talents and so many streams of possible paths.
Yes.
And sometimes you are constrained to find them because you are busy defining yourself with a particular title or a particular profession.
Yes.
True.
So I think, passion is about that fuel in you
Yes.
that tells you that multiple paths you can take.
Yes.
Because I think values will always be there.
Yeah.
They'll always be there. Like I there's some things I sit down and I remember. I'm like, how could I remember this?
Yeah.
I don't remember where I learned this, but I remember this. So the foundation is always there. But I mean, going forward,
Yeah.
we are who we are.
I mean, it's
right?
only starting to make sense to me now that
Yeah.
I rush home to be at home at 7.
There we go.
I was growing up, I was like, man, 7's too early. Nah, I can't be home now. Now I'm like, I gotta be home
That's
on
right.
my own.
Yeah.
So, they grow on you
Yeah.
as you grow older. But I just wish we can grow a little bit faster within us, not in age, but
That's
in
right.
wisdom
That's
and
right. And that's why we're doing
passion.
some of these things, right?
yeah.
Because the earlier children can believe in themselves, can be confident,
Yes.
the earlier they can start realizing certain things, the earlier they can start making certain decisions, and the earlier we can start trusting them as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the African child, must compete with the whole globe.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's not just the girl next door that you have to compete with,
Mhm.
Yeah.
or in the next village.
Mhm.
It's whole globe.
True.
So they need the same tools
Yes.
that the world is given to their children.
All right.
Passion begets passion. With that, we will break.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we will talk again. We'll continue this conversation with Ian and Eddie. And we'll ask the question, do you believe you've been impactful? Whose lives have you touched? Who has touched you? Thank you very much.
Perfect.
That was amazing.
Perfect.
I just needed to say we'll be back.
We'll be
But
right back.
thank you very much. That was good because then
That
graphic.
graphics couple.
That's what I saw.
Let me just check these things real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Wow. It's incredible learning more.
Okay.
It's-
The bathroom is over there.
Mm.
And
It's
they're
funny.
very, very clean.
It's funny how I'm learning so much about Eddie through
From
this show.
It always happens, it's because
And you gave
I guess-
the most truncated version of how you got here. Right? It was like,
okay, the other thing is that we know you're Adrian Ian, but we don't know any more than that.
Yeah.
So we don't know your surnames.
Yeah.
So I can look back and
Yes,
talk
yeah,
about,
yeah.
okay, I know that you don't come from Uchudi.
Yeah.
You told me, but you haven't told us where you come from.
Yes, yeah.
And we all are born with labels.
Yes.
Sit down.
Yeah.
What is your label?
nah,
Yes,
that's
exactly. That's a good impact to start with. Yeah.
So
That's
that
good.
it doesn't seem like we forgot it.
No, yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Are we ready to where's our director?
we got, we
Or
got
the-
a li- I
if
think
the-
we got a little too engrossed in the conversation. We gotta go like, you know what?
It's getting deeper in there. No, this is going so well. Yeah. I'm sure by the time you just do it over and over again, you know your intros, your
Yeah.
going to break
Cox can do it.
Okay.
I think she took me
to the ladies. Okay.
So
You can call for,
3, 2, 1 action.
yeah.
No. Just call.
We're coming back-
Just
coming
to give
back.
her to give ma'am
Yeah.
the cue. Yeah.
So starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and action.
Welcome back to Things That Matter. Dilo Sedibutlo. We are all born with labels. My name is Unity Dow. You must have been born with a label. Who are you? We know you don't come from Uchudi, but where do you come from, Eddie? Ian, where do you come from? Who are you? Where do you come from? What is the brand that
Yeah.
your parents gave you at birth?
You started.
Again, no pressure.
Yeah.
So I was born in Kinshasa in the DRC, but my parents are from the eastern side of Congo, which is Bukavu, and my dad is from Ngweshi, which is also from in the same area. And in our culture, you wear the name of your forefathers. Like it's always rotational like that.
Oh wow.
So I was given the name of my grandfather and his father. And then I have my dad's name as well. So again, it's fine, no pressure. So Eddie Mihigo Bisimwa. Those are my names.
That's your brand.
Mihigo is my father.
Mhm.
Bisimwa is my grandfather's first name.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Wait. So which one is your surname?
Mihigo is my surname.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's Eddie.
Eddie Mihigo. And then Bisimwa is the third name.
And then you go back to Mihigo again.
So there's another name.
Africa is so complex.
I know,
I'm telling
right?
you, there's another name that eventually my father said, "Oh, if you want, you can take it."
Yeah.
That's like the clan name, which is
Okay.
Buragatwa.
Okay.
But he was like, "But you're not in the lineage
Yeah.
because your grandfather had many wives. So the only way you can wear that title, because that one is more like a title,
Yeah.
is if all the wives that came before your grandma pass away, then you become that."
Oh, okay.
So that's me and where I'm from, pretty much.
Mhm. And I really think this is important because naming of children is important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because somebody sat down, stood up maybe,
Yes.
and actually decided who they think you're going to be.
Yeah.
My son has 5 names.
You see, and
Wow.
and often that
I think it's 6
confuses, modern
Yeah.
documents like
Yeah.
IDs and
The
passports.
passport.
Exactly.
I always say African names, this idea of first name, middle
Name,
name,
last-
it's
yeah.
not like you have a bundle of names
That's
Yeah.
right.
given
That's
by
true.
people who loved you.
Yeah.
That's
Some
true.
of them you use, some of them you don't. Some of them are used only by one person
Yeah.
because that's who you are to them.
Yeah, this
And,
this guy when
yeah.
he's in Gaborone is called one thing.
Yeah.
When he's in Congo is called something else.
Yes.
If he's in Ghana is called something else.
Yeah.
If he's in Lensoletao is called something else.
Yeah.
And in Moleps they call it something else as well.
All right.
Yeah. And Ian?
Yeah.
I was born Prosper Ian Venganai, but I had two surnames before that.
I like that first one. I think
Prosper.
I like Prosper.
I think
I know
like
she
that.
calls me so whenever she says Prosper, I'm like, I'm in trouble. Because I know that's like my mom's and my aunts
That-
and
yeah,
all of
yeah.
that. So, but like it's Prosper Ian Venganai, but I had two surnames before that. So it was Mushungwasha, which is our royalty name,
Yeah.
and there is Moyo, which is part of our totem.
Okay.
So they call us Dewa. Dewa is like the clan totem, So we are of the Varoji, the merchants of the Great Zimbabwe. So we were the ones that were
The traders.
the traders, the
Yeah.
bankers of the Great
That makes sense.
Mutapa, empire. So on my ID passport, it's Prosper Ian Wenganai. So the question is probably everybody's asking why Ian all the time. So when I was now in Cape Town, my best friend always loved the idea of like, man, I love your ideas, man. I need to brand your ideas all the time, So everybody started off in first year, yo P, yo Pro, yo Prime, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Always names and names. And then one day my best friend is like, dude, you're Ian. Like on the passport says Ian, bro. I'm like, yeah. It's like ENP. It's an ENP concept. And then everybody just said, yeah, it's an ENP concept. So I had so many ideas for UCT radio, UCT television, and then this became like it's an ENP thing. It's an ENP concept. And so it became a brand name of just saying ENP. By the time I was like the first show is on SABC One, it came out as
ENP.
So it stuck from there. Yeah.
Before I ask you
Yes.
about the impact that you believe you've had in the world, on people's lives, I want to share with you a little story that demonstrates your impact.
Wow.
At the end of one day when we were filming, I gave this 10-year-old a lift home, and as I was dropping him off, he says, do you know that I'm a descendant of one of the three kings of the Bakata tribe? Google me.
Oh
Wow.
And he got the idea to look at who he is from your media club. That's what he said. When I talked to his aunt, he says, I didn't even realize that. And it's true. The Prefanis are some of the three founding kings of
That's
this.
confidence right there. Yeah.
And for him to say that, and tell me to Google him.
That's confidence. That's confidence right there.
But he would not have said that a month before.
And he's
he
gonna
would not have even thought about himself. As his name having power.
Yeah.
A month before.
He's gonna walk different for the rest of his life.
Yeah. So I thought that was really impactful.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about impact.
Man, I have been impacted.
Humility.
No, seriously, I have been impacted because what I do, I want to do it now. It's not a job anymore. Waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, being out of the house at quarter to 7, my bad. It's not a job. I want to do it. I wake up knowing that this is what I want to do today. Every minute I spend here is every minute I want to spend here. Everything else that comes out of that is the blessing, but just wanting to do it for me is amazing, because I don't have a day where I'm like, man, I don't really want to go there. Nah. Like it's been a while. Even my wife is like, yo, like you're different now. Like it's like you live in Machudi now.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I mean, you should come visit sometime.
You're sitting in a studio that the students built.
That's right.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
And being able to see these people saying, oh my God, that's amazing. people saying, "Oh, we want to get involved." Like
Yeah.
we had a legendary DJ here a few days ago. He was like, "Eddie, please, I'm begging you."
That's impact.
Yeah.
That's impact.
Wow.
So Ian.
Yes, Mar.
Oh, so Ian, that's prophetic right there. What? I give you 10 years. Watch this space.
I know it's scary hearing that. I've always been giving, to a point of giving everything that to the last little that I have, and that has since changed since the day I got married.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody said
Half.
Yeah, but in terms of impact, I don't know. It's just the saddest thing that I remember not being able to finish school because things in Zimbabwe were getting really bad,
Mm,
and then I just picked up the camera and started filming all the Zimbabwean kids that were at UCT because I knew we only had probably till end of the year in 2002
mm,
to go back home, you know. And I started waitering and I started just filming every weekend. I would get tips to just book a camera to film every
mm,
weekend. And I was capturing all of these lives. And trust me, some of those people are doing incredible things right now in the world. And that became a project I called Campus Connection because I wanted to connect students from different parts of the world that were coming on exchange programs, that were coming from different parts of the continent to come and study in South Africa. At the time, I was just saying maybe this will be my legacy to say I came to Cape Town because when I go
mm,
home, I don't know what's going to happen. Things are really getting bad with the economy. And then the next thing I remember is 3 years later of just continuously filming and doing all of these things because I started making money from filming different universities and
There
colleges
we
for
go.
parties and
Yeah.
stuff. SABC out of nowhere says, "Who is doing that?"
Mm,
So I was so scared, you know. Black kid in an industry that is white dominated,
yeah.
dominated in Cape Town.
Mm,
They said, we want that, please, we want to. So I had one of my closest friends, best friend, who was white, who always worked with me. So I put him in front just to be the Ian. So it made sense. He can't be Prosper now. He can be Ian. Because he hear
I like
Prosper, I'll
that.
be like, Zezur.
Something's off here.
So, and the scariest thing is to hear somebody telling you that this is changing lives in high school students.
Mm,
They're seeing the life of university as the next cool thing.
mm,
Because people used to like after matric or standard 10, they'll be like, no,
So
it's cool.
so you bring it closer to them.
Mm.
Yes.
They could see the possibility.
They could see the possibility. So it became a lifestyle. Like I want to go to UJ, I want to go to Wits, I want to go to University of Cape Town. It became a thing. So I was creating a lifestyle brand of how tertiary education is cool.
mhm.
And then SABC picked that project to put it on SABC 1, 7 o'clock. And when I saw that letter, I was just like, what? And being able to walk away from earning 250 in tips to getting like 3 million. And then I'm scared because now I'm like, oh my God, you're 25, there's 3 million coming in. What are you going to do? You've been filming for
No-
3 years. I took everyone who was
no
studying
pressure, huh?
film, yeah, who was not working,
Yeah.
who was studying film at Cape Town University, Cape Town International Film School and UCT as well, drama students. I was like, guys, this is our opportunity. And I'm so grateful that that became the journey of scholarships for me. So I started paying for some that couldn't finish, and we started paying ourselves doing our projects that we wanted. So from there, it just became one project after another, with Mnet wanting me to create markets in Mozambique. I've never been to Mozambique.
Mm.
Angola, I'd never been to Angola, but I created those platforms for them because they just said, you could do this. I was like, wow, I can. Sure, maybe I can. To a point of National School Quiz became the project that put me into a global space, where kids are competitive academically and they're winning scholarships to Monash, to Pearson, and the World Series, which now happened in 2018, got the kids into Harvard, Yale, and Stanford.
Nice.
But I never been to these places.
Yeah.
But it was just something I was
Create
just
a
saying,
pathway to
yes,
yeah.
it can happen. Yes, it can happen. And I was like, maybe I've been teaching all along. So when I came to Botswana, I was just doing the same thing I was
Yeah, the
doing,
model is the same. Yeah.
building a radio station
That's
because
right.
Zimbabwe gave me an opportunity to say, oh, yeah, sure, you can build a radio station if you want.
That's right.
Because they always knew, like, as long as we're not giving you money or asking, you're not asking for money, we'll just say, yes, go ahead.
That's right.
But then seeing it happen, it's like, what? He has done that?
Mhm.
And now the next thing is, it's the communities that I'm now impacting, the talent that I'm impacting, that are doing the shows, even when I'm not in Zimbabwe. The same thing now in Botswana. The same thing in Mochudi. We made a film called The Sword of Mochudi because I said I wanted to tell a story that I was in that place. Now it's there. Google it.
And I always tell
The Sword of
I always
Mochudi.
tell Ian to say, it looks like a small thing, but it's massive.
I think what's amazing is that it all started during COVID.
Exactly.
And
After COVID hit,
Mm.
Yeah.
you didn't freeze in space
No.
or in place.
Yeah.
You actually decided, I can do something,
Yeah.
from this
Yeah.
difficult position. So it's amazing. And I have to say, when you started talking about a tele radio station,
Yeah.
I mean, I've never kind of seen.
Did you imagine it when we were talking about it the way it is right now?
No, not at all. Because remember, we had just, taken over, bought the school,
Yeah.
when you had everything,
Yeah.
and I thought everybody was sometimes was running too fast,
Mm.
But I looked around and think these people, they're experts. You are
Yeah.
experts, and the CEO of my daughter is an expert, in
Yeah.
management, and so trust them.
Yeah.
She's an expert in believing in people.
Yeah.
I'll give her that.
And I always say, growth comes from creating a space for people to grow.
Yes.
If I know that if you grow, I will grow, then we're more likely all to grow.
Yes.
So I really think what's special about the space you are in right now at the Dow Academy, where you are, is that there's space to be
Yes.
Mm.
and space to bring your talents.
Mm.
And one thing about kids, you cannot trick them. You've already said that, Eddie.
Yeah.
Mm.
They will gravitate to love and
Mm.
passion and understanding,
Yes.
and they will reject you if they think that you are hurting them in any way
Mm.
emotionally. So in a way, the energy you see around the school, is is based on, is anchored on the energy that you bring to the school.
Yeah.
So I think for that, I have to say the impact as we see it, I think is amazing.
Yeah.
And you're starting with them young.
I have to say this though. Sorry, Eddie, if you were about to say something.
Go ahead.
I think kudos to you and to Cheshe, Natasha, Doru. I'll tell you this. The moment I started living in Mochudi, like my heart just like really anchored here.
Yeah.
And I was just like, when I walk around, like they have no idea what I'm about to do right now.
That's
I was
true.
like, they
That's
have.
true.
I have done this for South Africa. I've done this for Zimbabwe. I've done this for Zambia. I've done this for Tanzania. But Botswana, really, Mochudi right now, they have no idea. The kids that have talent here in this village, where I'm going to take them, trust me, nobody knows.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
I'm not
amazing.
gonna
It's a
say.
promise.
Yeah.
It's a promise.
And I love that they give you the space.
Yeah.
Administration gives you the space to grow. Because when this started, I just saw boxes in my little room where I used to work, and I'm like, Mr. Doru, what's going on?
Yeah.
He's like, no, we're kind of thinking about. I'm like, I want in. He's like, no, but I'm like, I want in, and he's like, okay, you know what? We're still planning, but when the
Yeah.
time is right, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you the impact is amazing.
Yeah.
It's huge, but it starts with the 7 high school leavers
Yes.
Imagine.
that you engaged
Yeah.
to set up the station.
There we
Yes.
go.
From painting this building,
Yes.
from making furniture when they didn't think they could have ever even handled a saw in their
Mm.
Yeah.
entire lives, for making them believe they could create this space.
Yes.
So even just those 7 lives before we go to the many
Yeah.
that we can expect, to be impacted by your work. I mean, Ian
Thank you.
and Eddie, thank you very much for coming to the show. Things that matter. Again.
Les choses qui comptent. I'll keep it in French.
Yes.
So
Kosh.
Things that matter. We've come to the end of this program, but I'm sure the voices from Muchudi, the voices of Eddie and Ian will go out there. You'll hear them, you'll hold them in your hearts, and you too will give them to other people. Things that matter. Thank you very much. This is Unity Dow signing off. Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Let's hope.
Okay. Can we do a quick promo? Please don't pause.
just go back.
Oh yes, yeah. Because the sound is going different. Okay, cool. Please do say, watch me Mondays 10:30 on TDA Tele Radio. Things that matter with Dr. Unity Dow.
Count down, please.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, action.
Watch me every Monday, 10:30. Things that matter on TDA Tele Radio Station. Thank you.
All right. I'm Dr. Unity Dow. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I never put a title to my name.
Oh, you never do.
I don't believe that. I think you can call me Dr. Dow. I
Oh.
think there's something wrong with somebody saying I'm Mr. Ian.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's still not a Mr. Okay. So you tell me I'm Ian, I can decide whether you understand.
I see where you're coming from.
I know, right? I never thought of that way. I never thought of it that way.
Because people
I see
say
where you're coming from. That's
"Get
fine.
Rama now, go get Rama." Yeah, when
Like I can already see that.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to give you a label.
Yeah.
You give me your name and I decide what you are.
Yeah.
You understand? So my name is Unity Dow.
Okay.
If you call me Dr.
Doctor,
Dow,
that's fine.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
call me, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think if you understand,
You can't call yourself that. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I totally appreciate that. That's good.
so
No, I
you
get it.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
You can decide to replace my title or not,
Yeah.
because that's your choice. Okay. You
Yeah.
can decide give me Unity Dow or
Yeah.
Unity Dow or can we see Unity Dow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Like, yeah, it's
It
come
makes-
to a point
Yeah.
to be that it's funny because Mr. Ian has become almost like Mr. is my first name now.
Yeah.
Like every
Yeah.
time it's like Mr. Ian. I'm like,
Funny enough,
it's like, what's your name? I'm Mr.
we
Ian.
call ourselves that every day now. Like,
But that's okay because you're not trying to claim a title.
Yeah.
You are trying to claim a nickname.
Yes,
That's right.
exactly.
Yeah.
For us, it's like nicknames
It's a
more
nickname
than
now because
titles.
If
Yeah.
it was a Mr., it would be Mr. Bangana.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I really think that.
no, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's how I see it.
Okay.
That's a nugget right there.
I'm gonna take that.
Me too.
Listen up and order.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Q.
Okay.
Okay. Going in like 3, 2, 1, action.
My name is Unity Dow. Join me every Monday at 10:30 on TDA radio station. Yeah,
Sorry, I clapped before you finished because it was so good. So we're gonna do it again.
One more time.
I'm sorry, that was so good. I was so excited. I was
Now
like,
you see, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Going in 3, 2, 1, action.
My name is Unity Dow. Join me every Monday at 10:30 in the morning on Things That Matter. The show, haha,
Let's do another one. Yeah, let's do
Let's
this.
do
Yeah, TDA Tele Radio. Yeah,
Tele Radio.
yeah, Tele Radio.
Rolling in 3, 2, 1, action.
My name is Unity Dow. Join me every Monday at 10:30 on the show Things That Matter. No. Let's start again.
Yeah, I'll use that part though, but let's go again. Yeah.
Okay, let me do it. Okay, I'll cue myself. My name is Unity Dow. Watch me every Monday morning at 10:30 on the show Things That Matter, brought to you by TDA Tele radio.
Yes.
Perfect.
That was so perfect. I was like, why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me?
You
I was like,
had
don't look at me. That was so good. I was like, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
You had it.
Tell us something.
Tele radio, yes.
That,
Yeah.
Okay. Don't laugh.
I was
Please.
laughing in my study.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right, go.
I'm cueing myself.
okay.
My name is okay. 1, 2, 3. My name is Unity Dow. Watch me every Monday at 10:30 on the show Things That Matter, brought to you by TDA Teleradio.
Perfect.
Let's take a break and then we come back with your episode. Yeah?
We're doing compassion.
Compassion. Wow, that was incredible. Let's just take a breather, 5 minutes or so. Would you like something to drink?
I had a bit of coffee.
Miss Charity, you want to
Because when we add on different days,
Yeah.
okay,
Sorry, ma.
I just want to add on one day. What is this Monday? That is next Monday.
Yes, yeah.
So that's what I'm going to change because otherwise it looks like
We're
the
doing the
same
same episode. Good thinking.
For
Good
2 months.
thinking.
What? She was just like last week. Is another week. This is a podcast, by the way. I know they're poor over there. But
What?
I'm not trying to get it on this thing. I'm not trying to get it on this thing.
Yeah, but it's a podcast as well. Proper.
I wanted to. I was like, because when she talks like this side. So
Yeah.
when we did the camera, that was
Yeah,
like
I
this.
think.
We can take that one.
Let's get this side.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But this one wasn't really catching me.
It was walking.
Don't know. It was right.
Is it? So we lost out on you, but we had you on the phone.
No, I'm good on the phone. Yeah.
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 But so we need. So I don't know which one we can swap
I
with.
think.
Should I stop this
I think we can.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Close the stream.
Close the
I think
stream.
we can take